Yo, what's the business? Your local neighborhood Super Rig off in this thing, and welcome to the Super Rig Show. It's still what's the business, but just for the naming convention. I thought the Super Rig Show was much more classy. If you're new here, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Well, you know what? No, watch the show first, and then, determine if you go subscribe or not. But just hit the like for the cause. It's Christmas time, and you might as well do it. That would be a great Christmas gift for me and my children, because each like grants the wish of a baby child, and we all would like a baby child to smile, wouldn't we? Today I will be talking about two stories that popped up on my feed, and I was like, wow, this is insanity. We got Boeing, okay, with a new whistleblower. This is the third one. The first two, they gone. And before we get into that story, the UnitedHealthcare CEO was straight murked, middle of the street in New York City, 6 a.m. in the morning. That's what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to get into the first story, which is topic one. This CEO, they got murked. His name was Brian Thompson, all right? He was the CEO of UnitedHealthcare. He was fatally shot December 4th, 2024 in what authorities describe as a premeditated, pre-planned, targeted attack. All right. Now, Thompson's wife, Paulette, revealed that he had received threats related to his professional role, possibly due to UnitedHealthcare controversial history of claim rejections. All right. Now, investigators found shell casings at the scene engraved with the words deny, defend, and depose, which may indicate a motive linked to industry practices. The NYPD are actively investigating the case and are offering $10,000 reward for information leading to the arrest. Note to self, get information leading to the arrest before these credit cards are due. Now the first time I heard about this, and let's look at this, because I got this story from TMZ. We're gonna look at some TMZ footage, okay, real quick. The internet has already jumped on this. Folks trying to get my $10,000. All right, but an internet super sleuth may have tracked the location of the assassin. This is according to TMZ. Now, this guy Riley on Twitter says, I'm fairly confident of where the UnitedHealthcare assassin escaped to. He escaped on an electric city bike, according to police. I happen to continuously scrape city bike data every minute, so I can see where individual bikes go. Now, this is crazy to me, all right? He says he scrapes for this information every minute. It doesn't appear like he's a part of the authorities or even the City Bike Transit Corporation. Why are you tracking bikes? Very stalkerish, but I digress. He says the only northbound city bike to leave within 10 minutes of the shooting was from a dock near the hotel. And it went to Madison Ave and East 82nd Street. Bike 421-6511 left the dock at 54th Street and 6th Ave at 6:44 a.m. and was only docked at 6:52 a.m. at Madison Ave and 82nd Street. This is the only bike that left within 10 minutes of the shooting and headed northbound. All right. So somebody is already tracking this guy. Which is crazy. This is a picture of Brian Thompson, and I gotta be honest, all right? He looks very reptilian-ish, okay? Like Reptile from Mortal Kombat, except not in shape, all right? And this looks very AI-generated, Photoshop-ish, and he also has Bugs Bunny teeth, all right? And I need to put this out here, all right? If he was not the CEO of a massive insurance company who scams us all, because insurance is the biggest Ponzi scheme ever, but that's some tinfoil hat stuff. We'll get into that later. I wouldn't be probably making these jokes, okay? So if you don't like the jokes, you can beat it. All right. So this is Brian Thompson. This is a picture of the actual, like, it looks the murder attempt, or well, not attempt, the actual murder. As you see, the assailant has on a very comfortable looking assassin suit and a very I want to know where he got this backpack from. This is a very nice looking backpack. Anyway, this looks like a very big, large gun. Pause. And the reason being that is a silencer. Okay, this looks like it's probably like a 9mm, and it has a silencer on it. So he was not playing no games. All right. Now, inscribed in the bullet casings were the words "deny, dispose, and defend." All right, this is a clearer picture. You see the gun, and this is the Brian dude right here. Damn, almost point blank range, man. This is some rockabye baby New Jack City stuff right here. That saying, those three words, delay, deny, defend, actually come from a book called Why Insurance Companies Don't Pay Claims and What You Can Do About It by J.N. Feynman. All right, so I'll be honest, for this dude to take somebody out broad daylight, okay, well, break of dawn light in New York City, just out in public, open like that, this was super personal, very super personal murder attempt right here. Well, murder. All right, I think you got to be like a president or something to get assassinated. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the chat. This is a front picture of the assailant. Crime Stoppers here. They're offering the 10 racks if you're in the New York area and you scraping the internet for bike information. You may be open to get $10,000 for Christmas. This is assailant right here. Once again, very comfortable assassin gear here. I gotta be honest. I wonder where he shops. Is this North Face? This looks like it may be North Face. The killer is still at large. Now, as I stated, this reminded me of get this out the way. This reminded me of Saw 6, all right? And I'm not sure if you guys are aware of the movie Saw 6, but in Saw 6, Jigsaw, he targeted an insurance executive, all right, subjecting him to lethal traps as punishment for his unethical decisions that deny coverage to clients. Similarly, Thompson's role as CEO of a major healthcare company and the nature of the messages found in the scene suggests the killer may have harbored grievances related to insurance practices. So in Saw 6, if y'all know about Saw, you know, Jigsaw kidnapped people. The first one was like just two random people. I forgot what the point was that. But then he got some drug addicts and, you know, so on and so forth. But in 6, he got all these people that work at the insurance company, right? And when you go do the flashback, y'all know he had cancer. And he went and they was like, yeah, you know, we can't cover you because, you know, it's a pre-existing condition, blah, blah, blah. So we can't cover your wife's, it either was his wife or his cancer treatments or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Something about that. So he kidnaps the main executive, the CEO, the dude that came up with the algorithm, because, you know, insurance companies, how they set up, they got algorithms and stuff. So when you give all that information, your weight, height, age, where you lived at, did you smoke or not, it formulates the probability of if they gonna have to pay you out and what all they would probably have to pay you out for. And then that's how they determine how much they go charge you. And then they use that information to go back to make sure that they can find some way to say that your condition was pre-existing so they don't have to pay you out. All right. It's super crazy scam, all right? So he kidnapped all these people from different departments or whatever, put them in the Jigsaw Happy Land traps, and I'm gonna be honest, it was one of the most cathartic movies ever. Now I gotta be honest, I've lucked out. I've gotten all my money out of all the insurance. I'm talking about from house, car, health. The only one I ain't got yet is my life insurance. And look, I'm not trying to get that one taken care of yet, all right? But I know a lot of people that have gotten screwed by insurance companies, and a lot of people have had things that occurred to them was not pre-existing at all, denied, and it is a lot of people that are actually happy about this thing. Can't say I'm not happy about it. Or I forgot how you say it, but you know what I'm saying. So the thing about this whole thing is, with this happening, this was very personal. So I'm assuming this is on some jigsaw stuff. I'm assuming this guy's wife, sister, brother, child, mom, somebody close to him, or maybe even him himself, was denied or through their particular company, and dude said, hey, I'm going Batman vigilante on this thing, and it is what it is. I'm not mad at it, and I hope other CEO. Now, I'm not condoning murder. All right, a good ass whooping could have, I think that would have sufficed. Ass whooping to the inch of life, you know what I'm saying? But these corporations got to understand this is not good business to deny people who are paying all of this money over all these years. They finally get sick, and then it's time for you guys to pay per the contract, and then you find loopholes out, because that's all they do, find loopholes out. If they paid out all of the claims that people went through, insurance companies would not be as profitable as they are. Their whole model is to not pay out and just keep all the money. So hey, it is what it is. Like I said, hopefully this doesn't become a trend of taking people away from their families and stuff, because I'm sure his wife and kids went in there denying these people's claims or setting up the algorithms, and they're suffering from this. But ass whoopings, all right, maybe a couple more CEO ass whoopings will suffice. All right, now our second story is whistleblowers, a new whistleblower at Boeing. Now, the whole thing with Boeing is crazy as well, all right, because they've had a bunch of crazy things happen. They had that one plane, or I think it was two planes, crashed a few years ago because they put out some software. Well, they had the new plane and they had some software that was supposed to do some auto adjusting for the planes, and they did not have the proper training for the pilots. So when it engaged, the pilots didn't know how to maneuver it, and it didn't work as it would have seemed to logically, and it caused some issues, and they grounded a bunch of Boeing planes. And then you had a few other whistleblowers come out, but currently, just right now, we have a new whistleblower, and this is per TMZ again. This guy's name is Craig Garriott. He says no one won't listen. Boeing won't listen until somebody dies. And gotta be honest, a whole bunch of people already died. This is a technician at Boeing satellite factory. I didn't know they made satellites too. He's a technician at Boeing satellite factory in El Segundo, California, and has raised significant safety concerns regarding the company's operations. Employed by Boeing since 1997, Garriott alleges that the management has ignored numerous safety violations, compromising both worker safety and product integrity. All right. Specifically, Garriott slammed executives' push for an increase in production of Boeing's LA plant, which he said has led to toxic culture that's dangerous for workers. He highlighted one particular incident when a 4-ton satellite crashed on a factory floor after it wasn't secured correctly. All right. Since 2023, he has reported between 300 and 400 safety violations, which he claimed were largely disregarded by management. One notable incident was the 4-ton satellite, and that satellite cost $1 billion. Isn't that insane? Although no injuries occurred, Garriott emphasized that the outcome could have been fatal if workers had been present. It happened on the weekend when people are off. Garriott has filed a whistleblower lawsuit alleging retaliation for his safety complaints. He asserts that after reporting these issues, he has faced adverse actions from the company, including attempts to undermine his credibility and position. It sounds like they probably had some P. Diddy stories for him. His spouse, Katie Moonsit, also a Boeing employee, has filed a separate lawsuit claiming she suffered retaliation due to her husband's whistleblowing activities as well. It's a lot of husband and wives that work at Boeing, but so they got 2 lawsuits. She getting a backlash. You know how it is at work. Have you ever snitched on somebody, hired you at work, and then stuff start coming out or whatever, or people start coming to you crazy? It's a wild situation. Now, This guy, let's see if we can get a picture of this guy. Let's see.
Because I told everybody that I would protect them. They've taken the focus off quality, the focus off the people on the floor. They've put it completely on profit and going fast.
One employee that we spoke with said he believed management views safety as a, quote, afterthought.
I don't even think it's an afterthought. I don't think they care at all. There is such a disconnect between the floor and the ivory tower of Boeing right now. When I first started at Boeing, the guys, the hourly people that spoke up and said, hey, this doesn't feel right, those guys were revered, right? You speak up now, you're a troublemaker.
Is it worth it?
Yeah. I'm not going to stop till I know that Boeing understands that these people mean something, they matter. And make them feel like they matter. Make them feel like their safety matters. That's all I'm asking for.
Now, this guy right here, he's a brave guy, okay? To say the least, he is a brave guy. Because two other people before have come out against Boeing involving quality issues, all right? Now, the first of which were John Bernay. Let me see if I got this right. Yeah. John Bernay. Now, he died by quote-unquote suicide at the age of 62. Bernay was a quality manager at Boeing for the last 7 years of his 32 career. He raised concerns about the airplane manufacturer's safety and production standards, and he sued the company, claiming Boeing illegally retaliated against him. Burnett was in Charleston for legal interviews related to his whistleblower case when he died. He had given a disposition to Boeing lawyers and was due to be further questioned when he did not appear. He was found dead in his truck in the hotel parking lot. Burnett's death came at a time when Boeing and its supplier Spirit Aerosystems were under scrutiny for production standards. When an incident in January I think of the year that he passed, saw an emergency exit blow off a Boeing 737 MAX shortly after takeoff. Now, this is like an ongoing thing with them. It's a huge company. Now, he had already talked to the lawyers. He had already filed the paperwork. When he was going to the interview, boom, he showed up in the truck. Then in the truck, it had letters talking about, well, I was just concerned about the safety or whatever, but I don't think I'm going to take myself out. Friends and family said Burnett was not suicidal before he died. Now, Boeing is a contractor. They do a lot of stuff, military, airlines, whole bunch of stuff. They are very powerful. They are entrenched in governments and things of that nature. So it really makes you think, huh? Makes you want to put on the tinfoil hats. Conspiracy, they took him out. All right. That's tinfoil theory, allegedly. Now, there was another whistleblower right after that. I'm talking about like a day later or something like that. It was months after, but still, you know what I'm saying? I'm being facetious. Now, the second whistleblower's name was called Joshua Dean. All right. Here's what he had to say.
The FAA is saying that the plane is now safe to fly. What do you say?
One, this is not a 737 problem. It's a Boeing problem. And I know the FAA's gone in and they've done due diligence and inspections to assure that the door plugs of the 737 are installed properly and the fasteners are torqued properly. But my concern is, what's the rest of the airplane? What's the rest of the condition of the airplane? And the reason my concern for that is back in 2012, Boeing started removing inspection operations off their jobs. So it left the mechanics to buy off their own work. So what we're seeing with the door plug blowout is what I've seen with the rest of the airplane, as far as jobs not being completed properly, inspection steps being removed, issues being ignored. My concerns are with the 737 and the 787, because those programs have really embraced the theory that quality is overhead and non-value added. So those two programs have really put a strong effort into removing quality from the process. When I first started working at Charleston, I was in charge with pushing back defects to our suppliers. And what that meant was I'd take a group of inspectors and actually go to the supplier and inspect their product before they sent it in. Well, I'd taken a team of 4 inspectors to Spirit Aerosystems to inspect the 41 section before they sent it to Charleston. And we found 300 defects. Some of them were significant that needed engineering intervention. When I returned to Charleston, my senior manager told me we had found too many defects and he was going to take the next trip. So the next trip he went on, he took 2 of my inspectors. And when they got back, they were given accolades for only finding 50 defects. So I pulled that inspector aside and I said, did Spirit really clean up their act that quick? That don't sound right. And she was mad. She said, no, said the 2 inspectors were given 2 hours to inspect the whole 41 section and they were kicked off the airplane.
So you see that. All right. They don't give a damn, and dude was destined to be taken out as soon as he said something. Now, here's some more details about him. He died on May 1st at the age of 45 after a sudden illness involving, oh wait, not him particularly. I think that was the other guy. But the Joshua Dean guy, he died on May 1st of 2024 at the age 45 after a sudden illness involving pneumonia and a resistant, I can't pronounce his name, all right? It's Staphylococcus. Anyway, it was MRSA infection, all right? Dean had raised concerns about the manufacturing defects of Boeing 737 MAX aircraft parts and alleged retaliation after his disclosures as well. His unexpected death shortly after that of another whistleblower, who's John Bernay we just talked about, led to speculation about potential foul play. His condition deteriorated rapidly 2 weeks before he was admitted to the hospital. 2 weeks before then, he was perfectly fine, and boom. And if you know about conspiracies and stuff, people think that Suge Knight injected Eazy-E with the HIV virus that causes AIDS, and people are thinking the same thing that happened with this guy, allegedly. So let's put our prayers and thoughts out to this new whistleblower by the name of Craig Garriott, because it's crazy out there in these whistleblowing streets. All right, shout out to all of the whistleblowers though, the Sean Snowden's, if that's his name. I'll be messing up stuff if you if you old here, and anybody else. If this guy comes up missing, look, you know what I'm saying? I think they're going to stretch this out a little bit longer. I think he you know what? They took them last 2 out. I got a chance of making it through just so they don't be like third time's a charm and it look too conspicuous. All right. So he might make it through, but are they going to make changes? Who knows? I hope they do. And I hope we don't have any more plane crashes, because people in my family, they fly quite a lot, and it would really not be bueno at all. So those are my 2 stories for today. I actually got to jump off. I was going to jump in the chat, but Tweet 2001, what's the business? He OG, triple OG of the channel. Glad you were able to sign in. Make sure you go in the description and follow my podcast channel, because we go live. We're going live tomorrow night, and that's where we talk about like entertainment stuff, hip-hop stuff. Majority over there, and I'm gonna start coming on here live. I'm hoping in the mornings, maybe a little bit earlier than this, so be on the lookout for that. That'll be at the beginning of the year. What do you guys think about this story? How do you feel about the CEO's death? Do you think copycat people are gonna come out, and if not murders, at minimum ass whoopings, all right, of the CEOs? And also, what do you think about the Boeing planes? Do you fly a lot? Do you have fear of going on these planes? And do you think change will come? All right. Once again, thank you for joining me. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And I catch y'all on the flip side. Peace out.